Hello and welcome to The Insider, a show designed to clue you into the biggest news, events and announcements inside the video games industry, discussing with you some things you may know, some things you may not, and the glue that holds it all together is a little bit of my own opinion. My name is Paul James, thank you very much for watching, and let's kick off another episode. So you'd have to be living under a bit of a rock to have not noticed the news that's come out overnight. Red Dead Redemption 2 has received a new trailer and a whole bunch of new information, and in this week's episode I'm going to break down everything we've learned about the game based on this one trailer alone. So the first thing we learned from the brand new Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer is that you play the role of Arthur Morgan. We don't know a lot about the character. Really, this kind of trailer shows off a bunch of environmental stuff and a few other kind of key features that may or may not link towards some gameplay, but we know that we're playing the role of Arthur Morgan. We know that Dutch and the Van der Linde gang have something to do with the story. We know that the Van der Linde gang and Dutch from the original Red Dead Redemption, which kind of linked in John Marston and a whole bunch of others. That's an important piece of this puzzle. Hopefully with some trailers and gameplay to come, we'll learn a little bit more about that.
You're a wanted man, Mr. Morgan.
Maybe when your mother's finished mourning your father, I'll keep her in black on your behalf.
The second point for today is about when this game is set. Red Dead Redemption 2, despite being a second game in the franchise, is not a sequel. This is in fact a prequel, origin story, whatever it is we want to call it. It's set before the events of Red Dead Redemption 1 and the tale of John Marston. We spoke about the fact that you're playing the role of Arthur Morgan. We don't know a hell of a lot more than it. We just know that it has to be set beforehand because of the events of Red Dead Redemption, which I'm not going to look to spoil here, that involve the Van der Linde gang, that involve Dutch, and instantly tell us that this must be placed before the original Red Dead Redemption game. So that opens up a whole host of different prospects here, including the possible inclusion of John Marston and several other key characters that were part of the story that came afterwards. Maybe we'll see how their stories began in this particular game.
You have my back. Always, Dutch.
The third point is about the world. Now we know in the case of Red Dead Redemption there was a ton to do. There was this kind of amazing environment around you, chock-a-block full of different creatures and animals, some of which you could kill and skin that were useful for a range of crafting and a bunch of other mechanical aspects, and a whole bunch of others that just made the world feel really lived in. And it seems like Rockstar are taking that even further in the case of Red Dead Redemption 2. Everything we see appears to be a cinematic, appears to be CG, doesn't appear to be gameplay. But we're seeing alligators interacting with other animals within the environment. We're seeing hunting aspects. We're seeing a whole bunch of different things here. It makes for an incredible world with a lot to do, something that we know was a big pillar of Grand Theft Auto 5, but it looks like there's a ton to do, and the world is constantly evolving and kind of coming together around you, and that's a really interesting and exciting prospect.
This place ain't no such thing as civilized.
For this fourth point, I'm going to be doing some speculation. Now, what we saw in the trailer appeared to be some heists. GTA 5 style? Maybe. What we saw was what appeared to be a bank heist, and also a heist that maybe saw you trying to take over control of a train. Now, what we saw in the heist was kind of, especially in the online space, was this collaborative sort of approach that would see people online coming together, trying to break into a bank, the heist, blah, 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 blah. It was good fun, it was really popular. What I'm wondering here is if in the case of Red Dead Redemption 2, be it a train, be it a bank, be it somewhere else, maybe you're breaking into kind of a high profile target's home to steal a particular object, I don't know what it is, but my speculatory approach here is that maybe we're going to see something kind of Destiny-ish, and I don't mean Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to see a whole bunch of us kind of playing together, dropping in, dropping out, that sort of thing. But maybe in the case of these heists, and again, I'm only speculating that there's even heists involved, but maybe in the case of these heists, we're seeing an online approach where maybe players can come together and tackle these things together. Maybe you can kind of recruit people. If you're someone who's offline, maybe there's a range of different computer characters that you can hire in that then help you in these missions. Maybe these heists are not even at all attached to the main game, and it's purely something that's additive outside of that kind of core story. Who knows? There's something to think about here ahead of whenever we see Red Dead Redemption 2.
we got lawmen in 3 different states after us. They chased us from the west, they chased us over the mountains.
The fifth and final point for today is about the game's release date. At the end of the trailer, Rockstar revealed that the Red Dead Redemption 2 is on track to come out in spring 2018, or autumn 2018 for us in the Southern Hemisphere, and my theory is that the game might be coming in May. There's nothing to base this on except for the fact that already the beginning of 2018 is starting to get quite full. Now we know Rockstar is not shy of putting a game where they see fit and hoping that everyone else clears out around them because of the Rockstar name alone. But there are some big games that are already slated for February, March, and we know there's going to be a few that are coming for April as well. May has proven to be a good window in the past for Red Dead Redemption, for Rockstar, and maybe, again in the case of this sequel, it's the right time for the game to launch. Provided there's not another delay.
Product not yet rated.
So those are 5 things that you need to either know or think about when it comes to the upcoming Red Dead Redemption 2. If you've not caught up with the trailer yet, make sure to do so. There's lots of really cool stuff. The world looks gorgeous. There's lots to see and do, and it's going to be a really fun experience when it comes out next year. Fingers crossed. If you've enjoyed this episode, please make sure to like, share and subscribe down below. We can catch up with weekly episodes of The Insider, of Patched, the video games club. There's weekly Player 2 Plays episodes. Make sure to visit the website, player2.net.au, where you can catch up with all the awesome written content. You can bet your bottom dollar when Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out, there's going to be a review on the site. In the meantime, we've got a whole bunch of other reviews for all the big games that are starting to come out. We've got a range of features, opinion pieces, previews, links to other videos, heaps and heaps of stuff that you can only find at the site, so please make sure to jump on, check it out. In the meantime, you can catch up with me at PaulJamesP2 on Twitter. You can catch up with the website, Player2AU on Twitter. Make sure to please come again next week. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.